Welcome back, students. Drawing graphs for quadratic equation is a very challenging task. So in this part, we will be talking about how to draw graphs step by step, and not only the graphs but yes, the sign of fx throughout the interval and the maximum and minimum values. Let's start. Graphical representation helps us to solve many tricky questions, okay, very easily, because when you know the graph of quadratic equation, it's very simple to draw it, okay, and then you can analyze the whole question easily. Okay, so let's see the first case. Now in first case I am talking about a case wherein we have a greater than 0 and d greater than 0. Now suppose I have an equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. So a in each case represents coefficient of x square and discriminant d represents the discriminant. So if I have a also positive and discriminant d also positive, in that case I have a graph which looks like a parabola with mouth upwards. Okay, so I will make it like this. You can see that discriminant d is greater than 0. That means it will have two real roots. Okay, so I can put it like this. If it is having two real roots, right, so that means it should cross x-axis 2 times. Okay, so here you can see, suppose this root is alpha and this root is beta. Now here this represents value of x and here this represents y, or I can say fx, where fx is what? Ax square plus bx plus c. Okay, now I want to understand the minimum value. What will be minimum value? You can see that minimum value occurs at this particular point, right? Okay, now what is this point at which minimum value occurs? Let's try to find out. Okay, now I have the equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Okay, so let me analyze this. If I will take a common, it becomes x square plus b upon a into x plus c upon a. Okay, now I am trying to make it a perfect square. So this becomes a into, if I try to make it a perfect square, this becomes x plus b upon 2a whole square. So this will give me x square plus b upon ax also, but I will get an extra term which will be plus b square upon 4a square. So to neutralize it, I will say minus b square upon 4a square plus c upon a. Now to talk about minimum value, because this is whole square quantity, okay, so I can say that whole square, okay, I want it to be minimum. So minimum, it can be 0, it can never be negative. So if I'll put this as equal to 0, this gives me x equal to minus b upon 2a. So a very important thing that we have noted down is that at x equal to minus b upon 2a, I will get the minimum value. But what will be this value? This value will be equal to y, and we have to find that particular y. So when I put x equal to minus b upon 2a, I will have y equal to a into, and I'll have minus b square plus 4ac upon 4a square. This gets cancelled, so this comes out to be minus d upon 4a. Okay, so minimum value will be minus d discriminant upon 4a, and this occurs at x equal to minus b upon 2a. Very important. Okay, now maximum value. If I talk about maximum value, students, you can easily see that maximum value is infinity, here also, here also. So maximum value is infinity, and that too is occurring when x is approaching infinity. Now I want to understand sign of fx, when it is positive, when it is 0, when it is negative. So you can easily see that when x is equal to alpha or beta, it is 0. So I will take basically how many regions I have? First region, okay, second region and third region. Okay, so I will take the case when x is less than alpha. So when x is less than alpha, you can easily see that fx is what? It is always positive. Okay, so fx is always positive. Okay, when x is equal to alpha, you can easily see that when x is equal to alpha, fx is equal to 0, definitely, because it is a root. Okay, you can see over here in the graph it is 0. Okay, when I have x lying between alpha and beta, you can see that what is fx value? It is downwards, negative. So fx is always negative. Okay. Then I will have a case wherein when I have x is equal to beta, again I will say fx would be 0. And finally when x is greater than beta, so you can check over here, it is always again positive. So fx is positive. So these are very simple things but very important, okay, because when you will be doing questions that really require graphical representation of equation, you will find that this really helps you a lot, this whole analysis. Okay, let's move to the second case. So whenever I am having the second case, that means a is greater than 0 and discriminant d equal to 0. Basically a greater than 0 represents that parabola will have mouth upwards, okay, parabola mouth upwards. Discriminant represents that how many times it will cut x-axis, because it is equal to 0 at discriminant d equal to 0, so I will have only one, that means two real roots, equal roots, so I will say it will cut x-axis once. Okay, so let me draw my graph now. Okay, so my graph would look like, let me say this is my x-axis and this is my fx. Okay, so graph would look like this. Okay, you can easily see that it is cutting x-axis only once. So I'll name it as, suppose it is alpha. Okay, now again if I'm talking about the minimum value, so minimum value will occur at definite rate minus b upon 2a only, and the value would be minus d upon 4a, right? So I'll write minimum value is minus d upon 4a, and that occurs at x equal to minus b upon 2a. You will say, ma'am, here it is 0. Yeah, definitely, because discriminant d is 0, so minimum value here it would be equal to 0, right? Okay. Okay, maximum value. Now maximum value is infinity, that is occurring when x is approaching infinity. Now when I talk about signs of fx, okay, let's see what are the signs of fx. I'll take the cases when x is less than alpha, x is equal to alpha and x is greater than alpha, because it has divided it into three regions. Okay, when x is less than alpha, you can see that fx is always positive. This implies that fx is positive. Okay, when x is equal to alpha, fx becomes equal to 0. And when x is greater than alpha, you can see again it is positive. So this implies that fx is again positive. Okay, this is our second case. Let's move to the third case. Now in third case, what is left? Discriminant d less than 0. So again see, when I say a greater than 0, that means I will have parabola definitely, because it is a quadratic equation whose mouth will be upwards. So this would be very simple for us. Now discriminant d less than 0. So what I will have that it will never cut x-axis, because no real roots. Okay, never cut x-axis. Oh, that's a bit different. So let's see how to draw this figure. So my figure would look like this. This is my x-axis. This becomes my fx. Okay. Now parabola mouth upwards, never cutting x-axis, so it would be looking like this. Okay. Now let's talk about the second point, minimum value. So minimum value would again occur at minus b upon 2a, and that would be minus d upon 4a. So I'll say it is again minus d upon 4a, and that would occur at x equal to minus b upon 2a. Maximum value again infinity when x is approaching infinity. When I talk about sign, you can see that it is always positive, because the whole graph is above x-axis. So it is always positive, right? So that becomes a very important, that gives us very important question. What kind of question? The sign of fx is positive. So I'll say that a quadratic equation, okay, I'll say ax square plus bx plus c is always positive for all real values of x. Okay, if this condition is given, that implies that its discriminant d would be less than 0. It only happens when discriminant d is less than 0, that fx is always greater than 0. Okay, it's a very important point. Okay, so now I'm sure you can draw graphs of quadratic equation very easily when coefficient of x square, that is a, positive, and for different discriminant. So for the next part, when coefficient of x square becomes negative, just stay in tune with me. Have a great day. Thank you.